Hello and welcome to My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports. It is Robbie Fox and Clem for another Nerd News free swim edition of the show. We don't have any show or movie to recap this week, but we've got a ton of fallout from Superman. We've got a ton of news to talk about. I'm excited to be here, Clem, and I wanted to kick off the show with some anniversaries. Happy 17th anniversary to The Dark Knight tomorrow. Happy 25th anniversary to the first X-Men movie, the live-action X-Men. That was this week. Happy 10th anniversary to Ant-Man, also this week. And happy 83rd birthday to Harrison Ford.
Wow, it's a nerd's heaven. I feel like you're going to get a lot of anniversaries, different weeks and stuff in the summer. A lot of
summer blockbusters, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Harrison Ford is a summer blockbuster in himself, some would say. An American blockbuster.
Yeah, and just got nominated for his first Emmy, and we'll get into the Emmys on this show as well. We'll talk about the nominations, what we're going to riot over if it doesn't happen. If we got a riot already, we've got, Riot Watch.
We're making riot plans. That's going to be, there's our fucking hashtag. Hashtag riot plans. Like, we're planning out how we're going to riot.
And quick basement keeping right off the top. Big interview with CM Punk and Rhea Ripley recorded this week. I accidentally uploaded it for like seconds to the My Mom's Basement channel. Not seconds. It was up for a little bit, enough for news sites to like pull it and take big quotes from it. But then I had to pull it because it was for this Netflix show that they're promoting, WWE Unreal. And I agreed to put it out on Monday for the embargo, like Barstool agreed. It was my fault. So I felt so awful about it, especially now that like all over wrestling Twitter, there's quotes from my interview that I'm getting no credit for because there's no video to send people to. So that'll be up officially on Monday. And I really need the Basement Boys and Girls to like help us out because the algorithm is going to fuck it being uploaded, privatized, re-uploaded. Just go to that. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, give it a thumbs up. It's a great interview. I promise. It's really good. I felt awful yesterday. I was like, such big names, such a good interview, and I ruined it. But again, the Basement Boys and Girls, if you come in like the Portal scene and support it, I think it still has potential.
I mean, when you tweeted out the picture, hand up, like I didn't realize that's what CM Punk looked like these days, and I didn't know the girl, but I was just looking at the replies, and people were losing their shit. So I was like, instant retweet. I'm plugging my boy here, and then like. I know, like, especially someone like you were probably like losing sleep, sick over the fact it went up and people are ripping quotes, losing all those views. That is the karmic way where everything is fine now, Bob. You had that's your penance you had to take.
True.
Live with it. But in the end, you're going to have a good interview, and it's already sounds like it's already crushing in its own special way.
Yeah, it's kind of the quotes from it are crushing on Twitter for sure.
I had a question. So I saw Triple H tweeted like Unreal, and it's something about Netflix, and I'm like, is this their NFL or their Netflix quarterback version for wrestling?
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. That's the best way I could put it. I got to watch some screeners. I don't think I'm technically allowed to talk about it. I don't think they'll be watching My Mom's Basement. Listen, it's awesome. It's like clearly they're trying to do the quarterbacks F1 thing. The first episode is about like the premiere on Netflix, how they got that going. Some wrestling fans will be upset that it's pulling back kayfabe in a way that really hasn't been pulled back before. Like you're seeing wrestlers go over moves in their head right before matches. Producers being like, you got to cut the fucking Anaconda Vice. We got 2 minutes left on air. Like, cut this move, cut that move. It's fascinating, though. Like, for wrestling fans that dig and want to get every behind-the-scenes detail, like, it's cool. I think people are going to love it. Like, even non-wrestling fans, I could see this kind of bringing them in a similar way that, like, F1 Drive to Survive brought people into that sport.
And people like me who once loved it aren't in it right now, but like I do love the business and I love the whole thoughts of it. And when you see how someone's planning out a match, and if you're one of the it's real to me, damn it, just don't watch it and like avoid the clips on Twitter when people share them. Avoid the My Mom's Basement interviews that ruin it for you. But other than that, like I think that's
like Lady Fox
really
liked
cool.
it. That's a good testament to it. She doesn't even really like wrestling. Like she really likes UFC, loves watching that with me. Wrestling is more of a like, hey, I'm going to throw on Raw. Is that all right? One of those. But she was like kind of engaged, asking questions about it. So I think people are going to dig it. And I also did an interview with Dana White this week. Check that out on the Spin and Backfist channel. Usually I upload them on My Mom's Basement. I think there should be some separation at some point. We put all of our MMA stuff on Spin and Backfist, all of our nerdy stuff here. I feel like that kind of fits. Also dropped interviews with Brody King and the TNA president, Carlos Silva, this week. Check those out. And I've got an interview with Kenny from the Starting Line coming out tomorrow. So it'll be Friday the 18th as you listen to this. Next week, I've got an interview with that band Winona Fighter that I mentioned. That was a great interview. So yeah, big interview month, I guess, in the basement. I was gonna say week, but there's been a lot all month. And check those out. If you only listen to My Mom's Basement for the weekly show, I appreciate that. Love that you're listening to the show. But we do random bonus episode things here and there and interviews. So make sure you really look over the whole channel. Maybe you'll find something you like.
Yeah, you could have a random flavor, or like the CM Punk thing, obviously, is a big example of that, of something you might love and be like, holy shit. So I actually had a question. TNA, AEW, and then obviously WWE. Is AEW the clear 2? And then TNA is 3?
TNA is the 3. TNA was the 2 for, the 20 years basically before that AEW became a thing. TNA is now the 3, but in an interesting turn of events, WWE has partnered with TNA. So now there's crossover between WWE and they try to take AEW down, and AEW countering with good programming. And like, I love all 3. I'm not one of these like tribalism people in wrestling. So I kind of like to see like TNA's got UBS Arena this weekend. For a long time, they were not in arenas, and they're still, they're roping stuff off, and it's not the full arena. But I like seeing wrestling just thrive. Like having 3 companies in the WWE or in the United States, where it's like WWE, AEW, TNA. People are making full-time livings in all 3. And I think that's great for the business overall.
Yeah, like we said, competition kind of spurs everyone else to step their game up. Like, hopefully we're going to see now that TC has launched the plane officially. So hopefully we get more of it there. And like you said, like, I remember back in the day when you had WWF, WCW, and then it was like, holy shit, this ECW thing is a complete wild card and all this. And then when they teamed up with WWF, it felt like, oh, this is probably not good for WCW.
Yeah. We're going to get into a ton of Superman news, DC news, but first, let's tell everyone about Game Time, one of our absolute favorite sponsors here. There's great UFC fights in New Orleans this weekend, or Lafayette, or it's in Louisiana. If you want to go to that, you can get them on Game Time. And if it's just summer day, you're looking for something to do, there's nothing like getting to a baseball game, especially last minute. It's fun to just make the decision, hey, we're going to Yankee Stadium today. Lucky for me, I always use Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. And if you're looking at Game Time right now, I could pull up the Game Time homepage. Look at this, Clem. You love the Mets, Reds at Mets, Saturday, July 19th, $77 gets you in the building, Citi Field. That's beautiful.
That's
also,
David
if you're
Wright's
a Yankees
number
fan,
retirement right there. That's a big day.
Oh shit, that's a really big day. And a much bigger day going on. I was gonna say a much bigger day going on the 25th at Yankee Stadium, Anthony Volpe bobblehead night. You could get in for $51. Get yourself an Anthony Volpe bobblehead. Game Time is the best. We love them.
If David Wright basically just his entire career was just when he was hurt at the end, that would be Anthony Volpe's career.
Oh, come on.
You're taking shots at Mike. Bob, take shots at the Mets, take shots at me, take shots at literally every other player that has been in that Doom franchise. Don't fuck with that. I'm telling you right now. Do not fuck. That's my guy, capital G.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code MMB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code MMB for My Mom's Basement, $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. All right, so I figured let's start with Superman. Ton of Superman fallout. We won't spoil Superman for anyone that's listening to this that hasn't watched it yet. We'll stay away from talking about the details. I mean, if you're on Twitter, it's hard to stay away from. I'm seeing screenshots and videos from bootlegs. People are tweeting it willy-nilly. It's crazy. But it's doing very well at the box office, and that's great for DC. We wanted it to do well. It's outperforming expectations and projections. It's not like Top Gun Maverick. It's not going to make $1 billion and it's blowing everyone away, but it seems like DC and Warner Brothers are very happy with how it's doing so far. I saw it just did the biggest Wednesday of the year. It just did the biggest Tuesday of the year. It's the biggest global opening for any solo Superman movie, not counting the, I guess, Justice League, Batman v Superman. I think it's doing really good in America, not so well overseas. And I've seen some people saying that's kind of how the history has been for Superman, which is interesting, but I kind of get it. very like Americana Superman, like truth, justice, and the American way. I don't know if people the new Superman's all woke. It's not that, whatever. But like, I think there is still he's America's hero. He's not Captain America, but close.
And like the campy stuff, you know, the old American stuff, that would definitely play more here than other places. Do we ever come up with like what our guess was the number was going to be? Did we ever throw that out there? I don't think we
did. Now they're saying it's probably going to be between 400 and 600 million, which I know that's a giant window I'm leaving there.
Yeah.
I think if it made it to 600, that would be great. I don't know if it'll make it that high. Maybe it will. I'm not really sure, but it's doing well now. We'll see when Fantastic Four hits theaters. I think that's going to hurt it a lot because it's going to be like, you know, people aren't seeing Superman as much if that's in the news and Pedro's on Jimmy Fallon and whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing of the competing superhero movies, which is good. They gave this extra week buffer. You have the premiere last week. Everyone's going to go. And then you have the extra week buffer. And then at some point, people then have to choose between Fantastic Four and Superman.
Some people will think Marvel's just a safer bet.
Yes.
You know, some people in their minds are just like, we'll go see the Marvel movie instead of, I don't know about that new Superman.
Yeah, so make your money now, Jimmy Gunn. I think it's success all around. You have the people who are upset. We're not even going to get into it. I do have to say, no matter what you thought of Superman, Mike Francesa's 8-minute rant about it was one of the funniest rants I've ever heard in my life. And honestly, like out of the top 10 funniest rants, like he probably has like 7 of them. And a lot of them it's not unintentionally hilarious. But my God, when he's going crazy, Superman's, you know what? I'm not going to dip into spoilers because some of this stuff does dip into the spoilers heavily.
But he doesn't like the dog. You could say that, you know, he doesn't
How
like
did
that.
He get a cape on?
Yeah. It's like, I've been watching Superman since I was a kid. I've never seen a dog with a cape. Who thought of a dog with a cape? It's like, he's been around since like the 30s. But I talked to Harrison about it in the office. And I was like, you got to take him to see Fantastic Four now, right? And he's like, oh, I'll drag him to see Fantastic Four.
That was doing numbers, that tweet. And I hope Mike doesn't get, you know, Mike has definitely become more self-aware over the years. And there's times where he is more self-aware than others. But like, I need to just hear that true, his gut feeling. And then on the other side of the coin, you have Stu Feiner, who unleashed like the most positive rant about anything I've ever heard in my life. And then he's going at Mike in their plans like, Mike, I don't know what's wrong with you. And it's all in caps and Stu talking.
He told Stephen Che he shouldn't be allowed to like father his children because he didn't like, he's like, you should have your kids taken away from you because you didn't think this was the most beautiful, you know, 2 hours of all time. The competing reviews. The one thing that hurt me a little bit was Dave said he wasn't going to see Superman after watching Mike Francesa's review. And I was like, no, Dave. And then he was on Fallon with Lois Lane last night. He said Lois Lane's petting Miss Peaches. I wonder if that turned him. I wonder if now he's like, all right, I met Lois Lane. She was nice. She's petting Miss Peaches. Maybe he'll go after that. I don't know. But I'm like, Dave, you love shit like this. He would probably love this movie. I don't know, but maybe not. Maybe he would agree with Francesa.
It's very interesting, Dave's opinion on all this. I think Dave would obviously see past all the nonstop, you know, people who are bullshitting, regardless of what you think about the movie. Like, I feel like this has given a lot of energy online. I feel like we're in a good place right now. A lot of stuff, you know, coming out. Obviously, Fantastic Four is only going to add fuel to the fire. So I'd love to have Dave's opinion on it. The thing is, though, Dave can be like, I fucking despised it. And then he
like, could. Yeah.
So all in all, Miss Peaches is basically the creature that can bridge all things in life is what we're learning.
Yes. And I saw people were talking, you mentioned like the energy that this is giving online. People were talking about how much buzz there is behind Superman right now. James Gunn immediately, pretty much days after Superman comes out, says, all right, time to start promoting the next thing. And they dropped the first teaser poster for Supergirl. And it's look up, spray painted over, look out. She's got blood on her hand still. Maybe it was red paint, but I took it as blood. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, maybe we're going to get, you know, crazy, brutal, more violent Supergirl. In the comics, she is a lot more violent because Krypton exploded when she was like 13. So she actually like got to know this great life and she had her family take it away from her and they all died these brutal deaths and stuff. But this tweet of the poster got more likes in like 3 hours than the initial Superman poster last year when James Gunn tweeted that out. So people were saying that just speaks to how fired up people are about the franchise and DC in general, where it's like, I know he's got probably more followers than he had a year ago or whatever, but it was quick where it was like it had 200,000 favorites or something.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about it. I'm excited about this one, and I feel like this is the one where we get a little more James Gunn edge to him, right? Like
probably, but it's
just
also
in the universe, not
him,
but just like I think that character is going to go a very fun way. Whereas Superman,
and it's going to go in a sci-fi way too. Like Superman is still like not typical comic book movie, but kind of what you would expect from a Superman movie. It gets a little James Gunny and weird with universes and stuff, but this is just a straight up like intergalactic road trip in the comics. And it's really cool in the comics. Like I would recommend Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow to anyone. It's a Tom King book. Tom King's one of the best writers. I think they're going to follow it pretty faithfully. Lobo's not in it, and we know Lobo's going to be in this in some capacity. So they'll divert here and there, but go check out that comic. It's really good stuff. And also, just David Cornsweet has been on a generational press tour. I said it's not quite Chalamet level, but it's pretty damn close. He had that Casino Royale clip going viral that people loved. He had a clip talking about how Bolt, the animated movie, like makes him tear up every time he watched it, that people loved. He's a machete order guy when it comes to Star Wars. Nice. There were a ton of Star Wars quotes coming from him. He's talking about Qui-Gon, how he was supposed to train the child. He's like a ball knower, a book knower, you know, not Star Wars books, but he's a knower of the wars for sure. I also watched Pearl this week, which is a horror movie that he was in. He doesn't have a huge role, but he's very good in the small role that he has, which was apparently like why James Gunn chose to bring him in for Superman. He like saw the potential in him. And when I read that, I was like, I got to watch this movie. It was pretty great. Have you been following the Cornsweet press tour?
Anything I see on the timeline, usually you, Ken, Jack, that's the kind of crew that I'm getting on my feed. I just feel like we're in good hands with a Superman, which is all you can ask for.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, what was the dude who played the Flash? Ezra Miller.
Oh, Ezra. It's the opposite. Yeah, that's a great comparison. Polar opposites. Yeah. Although this Superman might like Star Wars way more than anything else in the world, because they did the lie detector test. He said he would rather play a Jedi Knight than return as Superman. Although he had a twist at the end that people weren't including. He was like, yeah, I chose that because I'm already contracted to play Superman again, and I would get another paycheck to be in the Star Wars universe. But he said opening weekend, they were like, what are you going to do to celebrate? He's like, my wife got me the Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon. I'm going to turn my phone off for 2 days, and I'm going to build that. Although he did appear at a screening in Groucho Marx glasses, which was also like a good bit. He threw on the fake glasses disguise to go to a screening.
I like that. He's a war knower. He's definitely a war knower. How do you? I'll ask you now. How do you feel knowing that Superman, not Batman, might be the biggest like? Pattinson might not even be a Star Wars guy. He might be like, fuck.
He might not be. Yeah.
He might be he might be a Trekkie.
I'm okay with it. It almost feels like he's trying to bring me to the dark side, but you know, like the Superman side where he's like, listen, I'll extend an olive branch. Maybe I'm not Batman, but I know how to make an R2-D2 scream and sad noises in mid-interview when he was hitting that, and Rachel Brosnan's looking at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, oh, it's the sad beep. You know the sad beep.
I like that.
We need him in the basement. One of these, I know it's hard and he's fucking Superman, but he was doing, it's going to be harder and harder. He was doing smaller podcasts on this press tour, like not small, but I saw he was on a podcast that had like 2,000 views. I was like, oh, that's my mom's basement range. We can get Cornsweet.
It's our lane, baby.
Yeah. But watching that Pearl movie also made me realize like he's got a little more to him than just, you know, it's not just Superman in his bag. Like he's got some juice where he's playing this like projectionist, old timey, and he's like, it's like a creepy movie where he shows this girl like porn and he's like pointing. It's very anti-Superman, the performance that he has to give. Yeah, so I thought that was cool. Also, the Wall Street Journal says James Gunn is considering 2 possible TV spinoffs coming from Superman. One on Mr. Terrific, who's I'm seeing fan art of across the board, everyone's favorite, and one on Jimmy Olsen. So maybe we can get our Daily Planet show based around Jimmy Olsen. I could see him being the star of it. And people always bring up Jimmy Olsen in the comics and the cartoons, like they're like typical Jimmy Olsen subplot. And he's like strapped to a nuclear bomb being sent into space, or, you know, he gets into the most ridiculous hijinks. I'd be down for either one of those. I think Mr. Terrific is another one of those James Gunn characters where if you spin off into a Peacemaker type show, he could crush.
The Jimmy Olsen stuff, and we talked about it in the review, like we talked about how much we liked the character and the direction they took him and all that. But the thing we didn't discuss, which obviously holds up, is that actor did a great job with him, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
And if he gets himself into these kind of things that you're talking about, he's trying to get into stuff, into crazy, situations. I could see this guy being really fucking good. You know what I mean? I don't know anything about him. Skylar,
he's been in so much. Yeah, like, if you look at the franchises he's been in, when he was a kid, he did like an he did the voice of one of the Air Bud dogs and was also in the movie. He was in The Amazing Spider-Man, I think, as a little kid. He was in one of the Jurassic World movies as a little kid. He's been in like some of the biggest franchises ever. And he's like, I don't know, my age, maybe a couple years older.
Yeah, that's an absolute. I'm looking for it. 1996 he was born. So when were you born?
Okay, 2 years older than me. Yeah.
Yeah. Licorice Pizza. And then the other guy, Mr. Terrific. I didn't realize this. He was Darwin in X-Men First Class.
And I was going to bring that up next. It's a perfect transition because he had a quote about that. He was told Darwin would be resurrected in a future film after X-Men First Class when he voiced concerns about them just killing off the black character again. He said, I was like, killing the black guy first is so played out, guys. I can't do this. We held on to hope that they would honor their word, that he would be brought back. But when I didn't come back for X-Men Apocalypse, he says he knew it was done then. So this was kind of like a redemption thing for him in the superhero universe. It gets brought up all the time that they introduced the one indestructible, unkillable X-Men, and then they kill him in his first scene. And I know they're trying to make a point of like, this is the power of fucking what, but like, it's so stupid. I'm happy for him that he has this now, where it's like, not only is he in a Superman movie, the much bigger than X-Men First Class, he's like everyone's favorite part. It's almost like an Andrew Garfield in No Way Home style of redemption, where he's brought back to play a small role and everyone left the movie being like, we want more of that guy. He's goddamn Mr. Terrific.
That was my number one, I walked away saying like Mr. Terrific was my favorite. And is that good for Superman movie? Bad? That's up to you for the side.
Yeah.
Even Francesca was like, everyone's loving Mr. Terrific. It's a Superman movie. So like Mr. Terrific's like being such a good character was like a downside to the movie in his mind, and other people's minds, I guess. I love the guy. I don't know if I said this on the review. There's even a scene of his. He's Rocket Raccoon. He's human Rocket Raccoon.
It's the most Guardians scene in the movie, probably.
Yes, and just
like
his
Mr.
attitude,
Terrific showcase scene.
He's very Guardians-y, and I guess a couple other guys are Guardians-y as well, but he's straight up a 1-to-1 for Rocket Raccoon in my mind. And it's so funny because I'd love to give Marvel shit for killing him in X-Men, but First Class was one of the good ones, so I can't really give First Class. I'll give the later ones shit for not bringing him back. Nonetheless, though, there was a million ways that could, hey, whatever. It all ends up well. I'm happy for the actor because I thought he fucking crushed that movie.
He rocks. I hope he's in Peacemaker season 2. I have no idea if he is or not. I know Hawkgirl will be in Peacemaker season 2, and I think maybe some Maxwell Lord stuff. James Gunn is also teasing a lot. He teased, like, someone said, when does Superman 2 come out? He said, define Superman 2, which everyone's taking as you're going to make a world's finest movie next and bring Batman in, maybe introduce him there and then spin him off into the Brave and the Bold. Or maybe they do a Superman Supergirl team up if Supergirl is super well liked. No pun intended, super well liked that. I'm not quite sure there, but James Gunn does keep teasing like you're going to see the future of the DCU and maybe the direction we're aiming in Peacemaker season 2. He said he does know whose overall story the DC universe is going to be based around, but he's not saying quite yet. Like Rocket Raccoon was the full story of Guardians. People are saying, is it Rick Flag Sr.? Because he was in he's been in all the projects so far. Something weird like that. Yeah. Superman has also led to a 513% increase in adopted dog near me searches. I don't know how that's possible. Like, how do you judge that? Is it just like searches this weekend? The weekend it came out went up 500, which that's insane. If 513% people saw Superman and they were like, I need a dog right now.
And I'll tell you who didn't get a dog, Mike Francesa. He could not stand that dog one bit.
Can I be in the trust tree here? No judgment. I ordered Faith a crypto cape.
You know what? Not only with no judgment, I think that's a great move. That is a great
I said
move,
how, and I didn't tell Lady Fox. I said, how cute would it be if she comes home one day and Faith is wearing a red cape?
Oh, that's a beautiful thing right there. And let's be honest, it seems like Faith and crypto have similar behavioral issues sometimes, right? We'll just call
she
it
used
that.
to. Now she's good. But when we first got her, some crypto-like behavior for sure.
Speaking of which,
you know what it's the way she jumps on me is very crypto-like. Like she jumps on me with absolute love, but no concern for how it might hurt.
We have a little human here that has crypto tendencies as he's had since he was born, and he had a Superman outfit. We gave it away because he had grown out of it. It was like when he was like 4 years old, and he goes, "I want a new Superman outfit," and we made him use his own Amazon money. He got it, wore it for like 5 hours straight, and before we went live today, he took my Superman action figure that I would always wave in your face. He goes, "Can I go use this for the rest of the day and then I'll give it to you and I'm done?" And I go, "Buddy, it's all yours." So we have a new generation falling in love with, the S-Man right now. So I'm very happy to see get him and Faith together one day for a picture.
I also ordered myself a crypto Funko Pop. I think it's the first Funko Pop I've bought since a Pattinson Batman. So that kind of goes to show. And today I bought myself this shirt. How about that? The Metropolis Meteors. And I said, this is my way of, Lady Fox is an Ohio girl. She supports the Yankees for me. I can't wear a Guardians shirt or a hat. I just can't do it. So I said, this is my way of supporting, but not supporting. It's a Cleveland, you could tell it's inspired by their logo, but I assume most people think it's some kind of like minor league team, the Meteors.
I'm sure the people in the greater Ohio area will be very like, all right, like you're one of us, even though if you're not wearing a Guardians thing, which I feel like they have kind of lost their minds with the Guardians because they're one of those teams that doesn't spend enough for what they should. So almost being a Meteors makes you more of a Clevelander. Than, you might be a bigger fan than Jeff D'Lo, some are saying.
Some are saying that, yeah. Cleveland has been kind of like real prideful about the fact that Superman was, concepted there in a Cleveland basement, and then he was obviously shot, or Superman was shot in Cleveland, a lot of it for this movie. So they put a carpet down where Superman and Lois float up and kiss. They put a Superman logo on like one of the big buildings in Cleveland. So cool stuff like that. Before we go any further, let's tell everyone about New Amsterdam Vodka. This episode is brought to you by New Amsterdam Vodka. We absolutely love it. It is the official vodka of Barstool Sports. It is the official vodka of the UFC, which I mentioned. Big card this weekend, Dustin Poirier's retirement fight down in Louisiana, UFC 318. It's also the official vodka of Winning. It's a champion vodka over here. You match it up against any other vodka, and oh boy, it's a TKO. This weekend, the BMF title is on the line, the baddest motherfucker. I say this is the baddest motherfucking vodka. How about that? So whether you're catching the pay-per-view fight at home or at your favorite bar, listen to Spinning Backfist, have some New Amsterdam vodka. Hell, listen to My Mom's Basement. We talk MMA on here sometimes, Just find your wins with New Amsterdam. It's the absolute best vodka in the business. The Pink Whitney, the regular New Amsterdam. I talk about the new label. It looks sleek on shelves. It looks sleek on your shelf or on your little cart. People have the little carts, right? Alcohol.
Oh,
carts. Get yourself some New Amsterdam. It's the best.
I like the little carts. Little class there in the carts.
Yeah.
And the New Amsterdam the label. Like you said, it fits on the carts too. It's not easy
crisp,
to do,
sleek. Yeah. Emmy nominations are out. The Penguin is cleaning up like we thought it would. It's got 24 nominations. I want to say Severance might be the only show that's been nominated more. Pretty much everyone you would want from the Penguin to be nominated is nominated. A lot of writing noms, a lot of acting noms, a lot of directing noms, production design, all that stuff. Makeup, I think. Andor, on the other hand, did not get all of the nominations we would hope for. It did get a lot. It got, I think, 14 nominations across the board. A lot of writing, a lot of directing. I think they could get nominations for specific episodes as well if a director directed this episode, but not one. It's just like that's their nomination. Not a lot of acting noms. In fact, only two. One for Alan Tudyk, best voiceover for K2SO, which I'm not mad at. I loved his K2SO. And Forrest Whitaker for best guest star. Very bizarre to me, that one. He was good, don't get me wrong, but I didn't leave Andor season 2 like Forrest Whitaker better get nominated. He's got that great rant where he has the guy take off the fucking mask and breathe in the fumes or whatever. But in a show with amazing performances across the board, for no Mon Mothma nomination, for no Andor nomination, for no Luthen nomination, for no Cyril nomination, for no Dedra nomination. Craziness. I mean, Diego Luna getting no nomination for this. Criminal. Absolutely criminal. And Stellan Skarsgård as well, and Mon Mothma as well. I got, tons and tons and tons of names where I'm like, even fucking Benjamin Bratt, who came in, and we were like, I don't know how to feel about this. He's not Jimmy Smits. Like, by the end, I was like, he could have got a guest star nomination. Bix. Bix.
Oh, B2 didn't get a fucking nomination either. I didn't hear you say anything about B2.
Nothing about B2. Although I will say Tony Gilroy had a great quote when people came to him, and I think they kind of were trying to set him up for like, how do you feel about nobody getting nominations? And he says, these are epic long-term character studies. The ultimate victory is that these performances will be celebrated and discussed for years to come. I feel confident about that. There was a great quote tweet that was like, he said, I'm timeless, bitch.
Yeah, you ain't looking me up on the 2025 Emmys on Wikipedia. This shit is gonna just be one of those things about, motherfuckers. We'll steal a part of my take segment here. Little hot seat, cool throne. Hot seat, the agents of the people and the publicists and the whole team of everyone who didn't get nominated. Cool throne. Forrest Whitaker's agent and team.
And I'm not trying to take him down. Yeah, I hope he wins. I hope Andor gets, every nomination or win that they could get from this. It's just a shame. It's like so many. I could go on and on. The fucking guy that played what was his name? Partagraw or whatever. Partagraw in
I was thinking
The Empire. He was fucking great. Yeah. He just got cast in something else. I saw he was cast in the Harry Potter series, I think. I was like, oh, they got a good one. We also texted, there's a guy that was a writer on Andor that is apparently a writer on the new James Mangold, Star Wars movie. We don't know if we could trust that yet, but he said, like, I'm down to stay around the Star Wars galaxy for as long as they'll have me. And I think anyone that worked on Andor, especially like the last half of season 2, that should just be lifetime contract status, where it's like, all right, you're just going to get a salary from Lucasfilm every year and just help us develop everything we develop.
Yeah. So like Marvel, you feel like the Russo brothers, like they're just going to keep on Retainer now. I feel like they're going to try to keep Coogler as close as they can, even though he's kind of can go whatever direction he wants. And then I'm thinking and there's other people, obviously. I'm trying to think for Star Wars. Obviously, you have your Filoni, right?
Yep.
And it's like
Favreau now kind of feels like he might be in that zone. It feels like he had a hand in maybe Skeleton Crew and like different shows like that.
And now this guy should definitely be very much a part of that core moving forward with maybe a few other people, because Andor, I mean, it's basically the best thing we've had in years, and it fucking got Battlefront 2 selling again. Yeah. That's how good it was.
And then there was also a quote in the Star Wars universe from Rian Johnson, who just did some interviews for, I think it was for Poker Face N, to promote Knives Out, the new Knives Out movie coming out in December. He said his announced Star Wars trilogy was all very conceptual. There was never any outline or treatment or anything. He said nothing really happened with it. We had a great time working together, and they said, let's keep working together. The short version is Knives Out happened, and now I'm busy making murder mysteries. He still is very interested. He's like, I would love to one day get back to the Star Wars universe. Loved everyone I worked with there. I would love to tell more stories in that galaxy. This whole quote and this whole story around it has me pulled in different directions, though. Because I would love a Rian Johnson trilogy. I love The Last Jedi. I love Rian Johnson as a director. I would love to see it. I also appreciate the fact that they're giving like a bold filmmaker an opportunity here where they're like, we'll give you a trilogy, blank slate. I don't think that trilogies, not even a single movie, a trilogy should get approved just based on we liked the last movie you made. I think it should have to be, we have an amazing idea. We have an outline. We have it planned, especially after what we went through with the sequel trilogy. It's more like, I feel like, now, as a fan, I would prefer a studio head like James Gunn, who says we will not announce anything or go into like major production on anything until the script is complete and we're happy with it. He's like, once we're happy with the script, we'll go into production. They were talking about Wonder Woman and Batman this week. He's like, as soon as those scripts are done and we're happy with them, we'll go into production the second they're done, the second they're approved. I want that in Star Wars. Stop announcing all these fucking projects and concepts and whatever, and now bringing people out on stage at Celebration when it's like, he's out here years later being like, oh yeah, I didn't even make an outline. What? I thought he had an outline.
You can't even blame him, right? It's not his fault. It's the
Yeah.
goddamn
What is he going to say?
fault.
No, when they're like, we'll give you a trilogy. I'm sure he was like, great. Like, sure. Like when we get around to it, I'd love to do that.
And it's just so funny. It's like, yeah, they liked his movie that he made in Star Wars. Half the fan base hated it, and it was ripped turned into a goddamn civil war among the fans. So it's
still,
like,
and we're about to be like, it's going to be 10 years later, and the Civil War the guns have not fallen silent. You know, like it's still, we're in the midst of it. It's not even like on Christmas, we get to do that thing they did in World War II, where they're like, all right, it's Christmas, 24 hours. Let's take a break. On Christmas, they're like, I hate The Last Jedi.
Even if they offered Gilroy, who, I mean, has as high approval ratings as you're going to have, right? If you gave him a trilogy, people would be like, do we really need to throw a trilogy on this guy's plate right now?
Let's start with
one movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let's nail it. Like A New Hope could have been one movie. If people didn't like it, it's one complete story. Darth Vader spins off. We beat the bad guys, but he's still around. You know, like let's start every trilogy going forward with that thought. Not we're going to do 3 movies. Let's do one movie, and best case scenario, we'll make this into a trilogy, you know, but let's focus on telling one good story.
And hey,
is that too much to ask? Do I sound crazy? Do I sound like I'm taking crazy pills?
I think we're like, that's the thing. I think Star Wars fans are all thinking alike now, where it's like, yeah. And hey, if there's a really good idea, you don't know if movie and trilogy and whatever it's going to be, then TV shows can work, as we just learned with Andor. You just have to get the right people, tell the right story, and do it the right way. Oh, God almighty.
Andor ruined everything because it's too good. It's just every project going forward is like, but why couldn't you just do that?
I talk about this all the time, but when the Giants won the Super Bowl in the 2007 season, they started out 0-2. And then every year after that, everyone's like, well, the Giants are 0-2, but they won the Super Bowl that year. And then they won the other year against the Patriots. And everyone's like, never could get. And then we were basically edged by the Giants every season. It's like, well, we're 5-10 right now, but hey, we win these next 2 games. Eli gets hot in the playoffs. And it's not a healthy mindset to have. And this is now translated over into Star Wars. So yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but
it reminds me of how I say The Dark Knight also ruined ruined a lot of superhero movies going forward, because everyone says, okay, we got to make it gritty and dark and realistic. And it's like, no. It made it so great because we didn't have anything like that before. And then Christopher Nolan fucking kicked our doors in. And then with this stuff, no, we don't need everything to be dark and gritty. Sometimes a Superman movie full of hope is the most punk rock thing you could do.
Dark Knight is more unlike every comic book movie before and after than it is like. And there's a few others that are in that realm, but it's all the ones that like are spoken with in hushed tone, right? So let's just try to think of it like that with Andor, and same stuff with Star Wars projects. That's the biggest problem with Star Wars too, is that the original trilogy was so great, and it's such a and also was at a different time in the world where now everything's going to get picked apart and all these different things can go wrong with it. So I don't know, like out of the 3 franchises right now, would you say, even with the Andor bump, do you say they have the least amount of, I don't know if the word's momentum right now?
I
just don't know where they're going to go next.
It does feel like it. Yeah.
And
I would say next is Mando and Grogu, which I think could be a huge kickstart. You know, that's the fucking Pulp Fiction adrenaline hitting them in the chest. But right now, this is the summer of comic book movies, even just because of Superman and Fantastic Four. But people really liked Thunderbolts. People are really optimistic about Peacemaker. They're going to have a big Peacemaker panel at Comic-Con this year. George Lucas going to Comic-Con for the first time ever this year, which is kind of nuts.
Really?
Someone said, I think it might have been Kevin Smith on his podcast this week, or maybe his co-host said, do you think George Lucas is going to look out at the Comic-Con crowd and have like an Oppenheimer moment of like, look what I created.
Comic-Con is tough too, man.
Yeah. He's going there to talk about the museum that's opening, like the George Lucas Arts Museum. I think the panel is hosted by Queen Latifah as well. Weird panel host. Queen Latifah up there with George Lucas.
That sounds like something like Frank the Tank said during a rant. It's like, oh, Comic-Con stinks, and now Queen Latifah's hosting the panels. Like, it actually, he brought it, he spoke it to life. I don't even, but I have to say this, and I never texted you about this because I forgot. I remember we tried to get credentialed to Comic-Con way back when.
Yeah.
And they just straight ignored us. And now, as I find that every studio is bailing on Comic-Con, I am fucking doing little fist bumps to myself. Just because I am.
Oh, you turned on them?
I turned on them.
They credentialed us at, well, I will say, San Diego has never credentialed us. New York.
That's what I'm talking about. San Diego.
Yeah.
I got nothing but love for New York Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con can go fuck itself. Respect.
I got to be honest, that's still on the bucket list for me because I love San Diego too. I went there and I was like, God damn, San Diego is awesome. It'd be fun to spend a week with the nerds taking over that city.
Go to the zoo, Bob. Go to SeaWorld. You don't need to go to the beach. You don't need to go to fucking Comic-Con in the air conditioning. And God damn it. You're such a softie. You're too soft. Too soft, Bob.
Listen, I saw Oasis. I need new bucket list stuff. Back to Comic-Con we go.
I mean, shit, I need your bucket list to line up with my bucket list because everything you want to do in life, you end up doing. So I need to be like, oh, man, I can tag along with Bob when it's like, hey, can I go meet David Wright? Bob, I need David Wright to be on your bucket list. You got to meet David Wright.
Is he a Star Wars fan? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Can he bridge the gap like Corn Sweat? Hey, we've been talking a lot about Christopher Nolan. I made an Oppenheimer reference. We were talking about The Dark Knight. How about the fact that this motherfucker has enough juice, has enough sauce to put tickets for the Odyssey on sale almost a full year away from its release date? I saw people were saying, oh my God, it crashed this site, it crashed that site, it crashed the Indianapolis Science Museum site. Of course it did. You think the Indianapolis Science Museum is ready for Christopher Nolan fan volume? Tickets sold out like that across IMAX screens for the Odyssey. Again, next year, I think it's like June 26th of 2026. Tickets go on sale. I got a text from Jeff D. Lowe at like midnight. He's like, hey, I got tickets for Lincoln Square, but 99% chance I won't even be in the state at that time. So like maybe I could pass him off on to you. Very nice text from Jeff. I just can't wrap my head around buying tickets to a movie that comes out a year from now. And I'm the biggest Nolan guy. I love Nolan. I loved Oppenheimer way more than I thought I would. I've watched Oppenheimer like 8 times. I bought the friggin' disc so I could put it in anytime I want. I don't have to go to a fucking Peacock to watch it or whatever. I can't get around. I can't get my head around the fact that like eBay has tickets on sale for $150 right now. Movie tickets. We're not talking about concert tickets, show tickets, just movie tickets. And like, I love the big screen experience. I love the IMAX at Lincoln Square. I'm completely fine going to see it in IMAX opening weekend, and then maybe a week or two later seeing a Lincoln Square afternoon showing or something to see how it was intended or whatever. But it's crazy.
So this is my thing with the Odyssey or with Christopher Nolan. I feel like I got to see him on IMAX. Like I don't do that.
Yeah. No, I agree. Especially this whole movie shot on IMAX. It's the first movie ever only shot on IMAX. I just don't know if I need the Lincoln Square. Literally, I don't know if I need the biggest IMAX screen in the world to see it. Like, I think I'd be happy with seeing it on a normal IMAX. The one we saw Oppenheimer on is pretty fucking big.
It's and that's kind of where I'll go. And the most Jeff D. Lowe move ever is to get a ticket to a movie the entire country away from where he is living.
Yeah.
Knowing there's a 99% chance he will not be there, just in case, and just because, like, I've always was like, man, Lincoln Square is just the best movie theater, and I didn't realize until Twitter recently just how fucking beloved it is, and it's just known as the GOAT basically to like movie heads and all that kind of stuff. And by the way, the fact that it flooded and already they fixed
reopened in a day.
That was
which
incredible.
Like people were saying, I do understand, like if you're not from New York, the layout of the theater is you walk in and go up like a couple big escalators. So like the big theaters are on like maybe the 4th story. The IMAX is even higher. And there's like 2 kind of crappy theaters in the basement. Those were the only ones that flooded. But if you saw these videos of the flood, it wasn't like they had a couple inches of water. It was like ceiling is falling, fucking chaos. It was like the Donald Glover gif, him walking in and everything's on fire. It was as bad as you could imagine. And we were like, fuck, that's going to screw up their whole show times. They're going to have to figure it out. The theaters in the surrounding area are probably going to get packed. Yeah. Nope. They were open 2 hours later. They were like, come on in. The popcorn's wet, but don't mind it.
And that's the thing. Like, I would probably go in the theater if it was like literally underwater to watch Christopher Nolan. He's like, this is all right to be seen underneath,
it's the Odyssey in
underwater.
4D.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. You're getting the full Odysseus experience.
If you're coming to New York too, I would recommend that. Like if you love going to the movies and you're coming to New York for a vacation or something, I know it's like go sit in 2 hours in a movie theater instead of seeing something. But the Lincoln Square IMAX is crazy. Like walking in there for the first time, you're like, I didn't know they made movie theaters this big. If something's happening on one side of the screen, you're like moving your head. You're looking at people like that.
I'm still convinced that like 4% of my love of Dark Knight is because I saw it there for the first time. And like, it's a movie I would have loved no matter where I saw it. If I saw it on my phone, probably I would have loved it. But I still like that opening scene, and it just like took me by the fucking throat. I was like, ugh. So I would love to get that experience with the Odyssey. The thing is, they did it off of what, like a minute and a half teaser that really shows you fucking nothing.
Yeah.
There's a conversation between a couple guys at a table and a dude doing the fucking dead man's float. It's incredible. That just shows. I mean, what is
Nolan? Yeah.
What's better than the sauce, Bob? He has more than the sauce. He has the fucking cheese. He has the whole pizza pie.
He's got the meat and potatoes. Yeah.
Meat and potatoes.
Like, how many directors could do this? Is it him and Tarantino? Like, I think even at this point, like if Spielberg put tickets for his next movie on sale a year in advance, I don't think it's like this. I don't think people are buying tickets on eBay.
I don't think even Tarantino matches Nolan, believe it or not. And this comes from.
I think he's the only one that comes close, though.
That comes close, yes, 100% comes close.
Dune 3 might be able to be in a similar territory, but I don't
that's
think it's
a franchise, though. Yeah,
I was gonna say I don't think it's any movie Denis Villeneuve does next. Although I feel that way. I don't know if like the world feels that way yet.
And granted, like you're doing it with fucking humongous names of a story that is so great it's lasted the test of time. At the same point, man, like when I saw those people tweeting out the pictures of the theaters and there's that one seat in the corner, and this is like, as soon as they went live, it's like, holy shit. And now,
Gooch, did you see Gooch's tweet? He was like, I couldn't get tickets. Jeff D'Lo right under him. Should have used Fandango. I was like, oh, he's rubbing it in.
Day one stuff for the popcorn heads is you gotta use Fandango, Gooch. What are you doing? Oh, fucking Jeff. I could even see the little smirk on Jeff's face. It's not even
him
a full-blown smile.
He's like,
gotta
use Fandango.
Shaking his head as he says it. Oh, that motherfucker. So yeah, I cannot wait. That movie, that is my biggest fear, is how hyped I'm gonna be for that movie. And all the reviews that come out beforehand, like even if they're all great, I'm just scared I'm gonna build it stuff. It's too much. It's Christmas morning for me. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna probably have to just see it in like a regular theater though. I'm not a guy who buys his tickets ahead of time. The nearest IMAX to me is a little bit of a hike. That's where we saw Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
and they're probably already sold out. So it's like I'm gonna have to see it over the weekend. So I'm fucked.
We'll go back. It's Nolan. We'll want to see it a couple times.
Oh, 100%.
Let's tell everyone about a new sponsor before we end the show. We've got a couple more segments to get into. It's Ready or Not. The wait is finally over. Ready or Not is now available on consoles. Ready or Not, a new video game, a new first-person shooter. You become an elite SWAT commander and feel the weight of the badge. The fully immersive cult classic is now on its way to more players than ever before. This summer, it is out for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Get ready for 18 high-stakes missions, solo up, or with up to 5 players in co-op. I love playing co-op games like this, especially co-op games that have missions. It's not just you're online trying to kill each other the whole time. You clear rooms, you protect civilians, you make split-second calls, and you join the tactical shooter community. With countless ways to set your loadouts and gear, no mission is ever the same. And with full crossplay, your team can suit up no matter what system you're on. So if you've got an Xbox Series X, your friend's got a PlayStation 5, it doesn't matter. You could play together. It's crossplay. If you're into tactical gameplay, this is high intensity, high action stakes. Ready or Not is the must-play game of the summer. It's a great tactical shooter. Again, it's out for PC. I think it's always been out for PC, but now it is available on PlayStation and Xbox. It is very fun. The graphics are sick. The missions are sick. Again, the co-op stuff is really cool. So shout out Ready or Not for sponsoring the show. I'm happy to get into that. There was a couple games like Ready or Not that I remember playing as a kid, and it kind of gives me that nostalgic feel like I'm playing co-op with my friends in middle school again.
And you could put this on the fucking poster of the game. It's such a great line. I looked it up on Reddit just to like see what people were saying about it. This guy goes, "Had a blast with my boys on this last night. We suck." Like that's all you need to know. You had fun, you suck. That's how you know a game is great, is when you have fun and you're just getting your dick blown off.
Yes. So shout out Ready or Not. And Going into the next topic, we were talking about IMAX cameras and IMAX formats and whatnot. This quote fired me up about Fantastic Four. Apparently, all of the Galactus scenes will expand to IMAX format, IMAX aspect ratio in Fantastic Four, which is really cool because there's a lot of movies. Sinners was the most recent to do it, where you see the aspect ratio expand, and it's almost like it gets me bumped up. I'm almost like, oh, some shit's about to go down here. Nolan does it so well, obviously. I think the first time he did it was with The Dark Knight. I think that was the first movie he ever shot in IMAX cameras, because me and my brother were just talking about the fact that if you watch the trilogy now, you could tell because Batman Begins doesn't have any scenes like that. But then when you go to like Hong Kong in The Dark Knight and that big shot pans around him standing on the edge of the building, it's awesome. So I read that. That made me excited. One quote about Fantastic Four this week that made my ears perk up in a way where I was like, that's weird. John Malkovich cut from the movie entirely. Like, he was in the trailer. He was supposed to play Red Ghost, a villain. He will not be in the movie anymore. Where I'm like, I hope this thing isn't a mess. Like, how do you cut an entire character like that?
Let alone one by John fucking Malkovich, right?
Yeah.
A legitimate character. I was trying to figure out how I felt about that. And I'm like, hey, can we then reuse John Malkovich as someone else in the MCU?
Maybe. Can they use this footage in a different show or something? Like,
maybe.
How prominent was it? Was he in the beginning of the movie? Was he just another side villain where they were like, we got to get rid of that? But yeah, I don't recall hearing a lot about like reshoots like we did for Captain America. So I don't know. I'm not worried, but I thought that was strange. Again, like you said, like John Malkovich, it's not like, we're cutting this unknown actor. Like they cut Seth Rollins, the WWE wrestler from Brave New World. And then I was like, all right, maybe he sucked. Maybe he wasn't a great actor. This is like, what part of the movie did you just chop out entirely, and will it all add up without that piece?
Yeah, and it's like how much did you have to fix up for whatever reasons you cut it?
Yeah.
The Galactus stuff, though, I am a little bumped up about right now because
that's cool.
The whole Galactus thought of him and how he's just doesn't pay mind to anybody. Like, you can really do some cool shit. Like, oh, this is a Galactus moment right here, and kind of get the audience and fucking hit them with an exclamation point. So I'm interested to see how all that's gonna look, man. Do you think you're gonna have a higher ball scale for this or Superman?
I mean, I would hope if it's higher for this, I'd just like be thrilled. I think it'll be similar. If I had to guess, I think it'll be pretty close. Like, if I had to guess my score, Superman, I said was like a 4.5 for me. I would guess this is like a 4.25.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I'm kind of with you. I think it's going to be about the same. The Galactus,
but I think I'll like it more than Thunderbolts. Like, I think more than Thunderbolts, maybe not as much as Superman.
It better clear Thunderbolts in my mind. And I like Thunderbolts. It better clear.
Yeah.
This was the blockbuster. That was kind of the ramp up. That plus Daredevil. What was another show that we liked on Marvel this year? I mean, we didn't really watch
Ironheart.
Yeah. Was there another one? Agatha. Was there another show along with Daredevil? I mean, we really like Daredevil. So
maybe are you going back to X-Men 97? Are you thinking back to that maybe?
I don't think so. So I think I'm just getting Daredevil. Like, that was a long show that everyone really liked.
Yeah.
Plus Thunderbolts. This, I feel like we got to keep ascending here. And I think this is the hammer because I don't know. Like this and then Avengers and like a couple other unnamed movies. So it's like they got to hit on this.
The Punisher special, which started filming today.
Yes.
I saw that they're filming that in New York. So maybe I'll, run into Bernthal or something like I ran into the Daredevil set last year.
I'll tell you, considering I've already seen him play the role, it's crazy how much is seeing like the picture of him for the thing. It's like, oh man,
it fires you up like he's
going.
back.
Yeah, I am ready to rock. I just like the actor a lot. So that's the biggest thing with that. The Galactus popcorn bucket, I still don't know how I feel about it.
I know, $80. It's this fucking big. Did you see the Freaky Friday popcorn buckets? I thought those were clever.
No, I didn't see that.
They released a popcorn bucket and a drink where the drink looks like a popcorn bucket with a fake like popcorn lid. And then the only issue is the popcorn bucket is just the size of a cup. So you can't fit a lot of popcorn in there. But it's still it's a good idea for the Freaky Friday thing.
Galactus would be so fucking pissed if he found out he was a popcorn bucket too.
Yeah,
like the mere thought of a popcorn bucket.
That.
Yeah, he's like, "What is a popcorn bucket?"
And we also got our first picture of Paul Walter Hauser, which confirms him as Mole Man. And I gotta admit, the first picture did not look stylized to like the 60s, like I thought the rest of the movie looked. So I'm kind of wondering, is he a villain in our universe? Maybe it's just the picture. Maybe it's just the way it looked. It wasn't under the 60s filters or that aspect ratio or whatever. I'm not really sure. I'm excited to see him, though, because I'll take him in anything.
Everything in this movie, I'm not going in with like, oh my God, what does this mean for the future MCU? Because I do think there's going to be some weird universe shit that's going to happen in this movie. And then obviously with Secret Wars coming up. So because of that, I'm going to just like hold my criticisms until after the movie, after the credits roll, which we will be seeing it. So we'll have it ready on the
Monday
feed for you guys. As soon as you come out of the theater, the boys will have chopped it up, given our fast food review, ball scale, everything you need to know.
And look out for like our spoiler-free review on Monday. We'll put up we'll do one of those videos outside the theater again, and we won't say anything until Thursday or whatever when it comes out. But yeah, like Monday night, you'll hear from us about it.
I love that we get to do that. That is so awesome. Shout out Marvel. Hey, other studios, send those little passes our way. We don't hate it. The free popcorn is nice too when it's offered.
Yeah.
It's not turned down. I promise you that much. Did we ever get confirmation on the rumor that people were saying Mr. Fantastic is the leader of the Avengers in Doomsday?
No, but that's weird to me if it's true. Like,
very weird.
This new guy, like, what about Sam Wilson? What's happening to him? Are they just like, hey, Sam, your movie wasn't that great. We're putting Reed up there. But like Doctor Strange too. People don't dislike Doctor Strange.
That's fair. That's a fair. There is like as an X-Men guy, right? There
Captain Marvel. There's just so many people that like in the context of the universe should be the leader of the Avengers.
You're just saying people that were on the Avengers, Bob. That's all you're doing. I'm with you. I found it interesting and like, I don't know if that's going to make sense. And again, all this could just be when you see it on the screen, like, oh, okay, this isn't what we thought it was. I just did make
maybe it's a historic rookie season from Reed.
I mean, and then they're just like, and we promised Pedro that was the only one who was going to sign up, and we needed him because everyone needs Pedro Pascal.
Imagine he's got this crazy ego. He's like, I ain't signing on the dotted line unless I'm the leader of the Avengers.
Leading the Avengers.
He had a clip this week that was going viral, him crying because the Thing, our guy cousin Richie, Ebon Moss Backrack, was like talking about how much being part of the cast meant to him. It just made Pedro cry. It was very nice, but like crazy.
Our boy Pedro's emotional.
Yeah.
I don't know what's coming from him after this movie comes out. I think he could have a generational run in a whole different way than Corn Sweat and fucking our boy had Timothy. I don't know what to expect from him. He's a wild card, and in the best way possible.
Yeah, I love.
He's a little bit like you, Bob. Actually, you can get emotional. You can get emotional.
Yeah, true. And speaking of things that might get us emotional. Last topic of the day, we got our trailer for the first like real trailer for Stranger Things 5, the final season. And it looks really fucking good. And I feel like more people were coming around on this one. Last time when they put out the teaser trailer and like the release date, we talked about how a lot of people were like, Jesus Christ, this company, the studio, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I at least saw a lot of tweets this time around of people just being excited. People being like, Jeff D. I think, just rewatched season 4. He's like, I forgot how good it was. I wish we could see season 5 in a theater. Like, and it would be cool to get like the finale in a theater or something. Especially considering it's like movie length. All these things are 2 hours now. I think it looks great. I think it looks really fucking good. Like cinematically, CGI wise, the way everything is just building to this massive culmination. A quick look at Vecna that maybe looks a little different than he looked last season. Everyone's tweeting the new look at Vecna. We talked about having to do a death pool before the season comes out. You brought that up. You mentioned it. It's a great idea. We did it last time, so we got to do it this time. What were your thoughts on the trailer?
It looks action-packed, looks scary, looks intense.
Yeah.
It feels like it's the crescendo of everything building up for 4 seasons plus the 3 years that just passed in real life. And it's all coming to a head. And I think Netflix was like to the Duffer Brothers, like, you guys cook, do this the right way. And they did it the right way. And I think we've seen it with House of the Dragon with HBO Max. And we saw it with, I think we're going to see it with The Last of Us, especially in season 3, as we had talked about on Superman, about the creative struggles and people quitting. And how George R. R. Martin was upset about House of the Dragon and some of the Game of Thrones stuff. I think Netflix just lets their people take their time, do their shit. And I think all the criticisms, which some are fair, about how long it took and this and that, and the kids are older, I think the other side of it is I think we're going to get a fucking awesome season. And that trailer left me. I felt like I was fucking living the 80s again. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And it's not often you get like the part 5 of something and it's just as good as the original or all the other stuff. I think it could be the best one yet. So, and this is the thing though, Bobby, you mentioned on Twitter, people who either rewatched or watched or just remember season 4 remembers how fucking good it was. I think we're going up still, you know?
And even like when that season 4 dropped, people were like, every episode's 90 minutes. Who do they think they are? Jesus, who is the time for this? And it's like, but if you just watch it, you're like, yeah, I don't know what I would have cut from that. Like, it was fucking great. Every episode felt like a movie. Like, I remember 4th of July that summer watching it with my family, and it felt like we're all sitting around watching, like, felt like the new movie we rented from Blockbuster. It gives you those, like, nostalgic feelings and stuff. I'm excited. I have been. I mean, I'm excited for everything. Let's be honest.
You're our golden retriever, Bob. That's why we love you here. That's why we love you.
I'm getting better, though. I'm getting better with some criticisms. Although it's like, I don't know. I'm not really working to criticize movies.
He's going through puberty, folks. So we're growing along with him. We're watching him grow up right in front of our eyes. The death pool is going to be the most interesting thing because there's so many people you may want to pick because it's the smart pick, but you don't want them to die. And
I almost want it to be Guardians 3-esque, where we feel the stakes and think there's going to be a lot of deaths, but like I want it to have a happy ending. I love these characters. We've loved them for almost 10 years now. So it's like you want them to ride off into the sunset, but I also don't think it's the kind of show where they are all going to ride off into the sunset. No. I think we're getting some death.
And if anyone has any ideas, drop them in the comments, tweet us. But if we do a death pool, again, I think KFC Radio had done some pools back in the day. I mean, if we could even just get our hands on something, a Barstool prize or something around the office, whatever it may be. But just like a way where like maybe people pick 3 characters, 5 characters, or it's like a percentage, how much you get right. If anyone has any idea the best way to do it, maybe someone did it in season 4. The thing is with season 5 is we have a part 1 on Thanksgiving, a part 2 Christmas, part 3 on New Year's. But this would have to entail basically we'd have to cut
the whole
off
thing.
On Thanksgiving,
right?
The whole season 5.
Yeah.
And I mean, God knows what that last fucking movie is going to entail. I am not ready for that.
Yeah. I think it could be fun. I think we could figure out a way to like make it work, even if it's like there's 3 winners or something like that, and they each get a shirt, a prize, something like that. I think it'd be a fun way to loop everyone in and have people like locked in for, oh my God, the death hat. It's like a fantasy moment. Like, fuck, I had him.
Come on, Lucas. Is Lucas breathing? Come on, bro. Get up, Lucas.
It's like scenes in movies where it's like someone gets knocked out and it's like, are they dead? Are they unconscious? And then like they twitch and you're like, I'm still alive. All right. That was My Mom's Basement for July 17th week. You know, July 18th, I'm going to have to celebrate the anniversary of The Dark Knight. We're going to have to friggin' give that a rewatch. So expect some references next week when we do our Fantastic Four episode.
Shout out to us for bringing it up organically again on the pod, in addition to the anniversary. It was fucking IMAX theater. So yeah, I'm sure we'll be bringing up Dark Knight next week as well. So can't wait.
And next week, 444 Fantastic Four. Look out for it. Look out for all the interviews I'm dropping before then, and we'll talk to you then.